Hello everybody, how are you? So, I hope you're okay. As you can see, I'm much more smiley, a bit sweaty and bedraggled, but I'm a lot more smiley than I was last week. I am thankfully much better. Let me just position you a bit better. I am thankfully much better than I was last week. So, I initially thought that I'd hurt my back. I initially thought I'd overdone it, hurt my back, and I put myself on my back. However, a couple of days after being in bed for the day and suffering with extreme pain, etc., I came down with the almightiest water infection that I have ever had in my life. And without going into detail, I had other problems that come with water infection. So, as you can imagine, it wasn't pleasant, and I had a lot of back related pain because of that, and I think possibly that is why my pain felt so intense last week and why I was so exhausted and so fed up. I think it probably was a mixture of my back hurting. I had definitely overdone it, but without a doubt the pain was related to this water infection and they're not lady problems but problems inside. So it really has knocked me off my feet. I've not been right for over a week, but thankfully with medication and creams and lotions and potions, I am feeling much more myself today. However, this weather is not helping, but I can't complain. I did have a comment the other week saying, oh my goodness, the garden's suffering and I'm suffering, and yes, I'm feeling a bit like that myself. I'm hoping you can hear me okay because I've got the fan on, because it is too warm to not have the fan on. But yes, I am much better this week, feeling much brighter, and loving all of your beautiful comments. I try to reply to each and every one of you. I think I have done. I think there's a comment on there for all of you. And I discovered last week that I can leave you a little voicemail. So when I'm busy and I am flitting about and doing whatever, if I've got a quick 5 minutes, you can press a button and I can leave you a little voicemail. So I thought that was really cute. So some of you would have got a little voicemail off me last week, and I think some of them I left while I was in bed. So I was a good girl. I did rest and let my body heal last week. Therefore didn't do a lot. I'm a bit behind with my coursework, and haven't really done a great deal. We did end up doing the car boot on the Sunday. We cleared out lots of rubbish, which was fantastic. But yes, it did take me a little while to get over it. But yes, I am good and happy and smiley this week, which is really, well, it's only really gone off Tuesday time, so yeah, feeling much better. So yes, but yes, I really enjoyed messaging you all back and leaving messages for people that had bought me a coffee. It was really nice, and that feature where you can leave a voicemail makes it so much easier. You know, you can press a button and say what you're thinking, answer that person. Yeah, it's really good. So as I said, I've not done a lot really this week, but while I was poorly, I was reading up on these new Wegovy tablets. So I think a lot of people were hoping that these Wegovy tablets were going to be a lot cheaper than the injections, but it's looking as though they're not. It's looking like they are just the same as the injections, but just obviously an oral, a method where you can swallow them instead of injecting yourself. So how do you feel about that? Is it something that you will look at? I don't know for me. I thought if it was cheaper, that maybe when I came to the stage where I was maintaining, a tablet might be easier. I was reading up on what you have to do to take them. You have to take them on an empty stomach. So you have to have an empty stomach for 8 hours. So I presume in the morning that you take that tablet for straight away, and then you can't eat or drink for half an hour afterwards before you can eat and drink. So yes, it was something that I was hoping might be a lower cost, so that when as guys are maintaining in the future, that it would be something we could look at to take as a maintenance dose. I know Wegovy is cheaper than Mounjaro anyway, but obviously the loss rate isn't as quick. Well, obviously if you're at your goal and you just need to maintain, then I thought that may be a good option. And it might be still something I look into when the time comes. I'm a little way off that yet anyway. But I was wondering if any of you guys have tried it, and what you think and how it's working for you. I am very curious. I wonder how long it'll be before there's someone in the world that will make something a little bit cheaper that is more accessible for all of us that are on a lower budget. Talking about different things now, have you guys all heard about this Retatrutide that is going about? Now, I know that a lot of people are now taking this because it's cheaper than Mounjaro, and it is having the same effects. However, here in the UK, it hasn't been legalised for selling, for taking, so you do have to be really careful. However, I do know, and I actually know of 3 people I know personally that are taking it, and they're doing really well on it. But I personally wouldn't want to put something in my body that I didn't know anything about. I did read up that in America they are looking at legalising this drug, so whether that will be something in the future that we can look at that will be more affordable, who knows. It sounds like, from what I've read, and again I'm no expert, I'm just really researching, that it's a similar thing to Wegovy, that it's, you start on quite a low number, so like the 0.2 or whatever it is, and you go up. So whether it would be a very similar thing to Wegovy, I'm not sure. But yes, but I know I don't know how I'd feel about injecting something into my body that hadn't been clinically approved. You know, one of my friends that is using it, I think she's paying £80 a month for it at the moment, for the dosage that she's on. So obviously it's very tempting for these people like myself who are paying near on £300 a month to be paying only £80 a month. Must be fantastic. But at the moment, until it's all legalised and everything else, I don't think I'd be taking it. But everyone is their own person. I'm not calling anybody. I just wonder what your opinions are, and any of you that are out there, are you using it, you know, and how have you got on? I am so interested to find out everyone's point of view, and yes, it does fascinate me, the world that we are in now compared to the one that we've lived in the past, where there seemed to be no help apart from surgery for weight loss. And for years and years and years I avoided that, and then just before I found out about Mounjaro, I'd actually said to my GP, right, I want bariatric surgery, I can't do this on my own anymore. And lo and behold, a few weeks after that, it came out, you know, in the press that Mounjaro was available to people to buy over the counter, and that's where my journey started. But for years and years, I've almost felt like it's been something that you can't get help with, and now all of a sudden we're living in a world where there is support out there for people. So yes, it is a very exciting world that we're in now, and hopefully it will save so many people's lives that struggle with weight loss, with weight gain, sorry, and help. Well, it certainly has helped me get into a better BMI. So what's ahead? So the twins are going away with their uncle next Friday. We are staying back home to help with Lee's parents to make sure they're okay. But they break up on Friday. The kids break up on Friday, which is absolutely mental to think that this year has flown by this quick. But I am looking forward to it. As you know, I love having the kids at home, so I shall miss them. It'll be the longest time that I've been away from them since they've been born. I shall miss them, but I know they're in a safe, capable hands with their uncle, and they are going to have the most fantastic time. They're going up to the Norfolk coast where they'll have a lovely time. And yes, I'm very, very jealous, but I'm excited for them in the same respect. They're going to have a lovely time. We're hoping to maybe, I don't know, do some day trips in the summer. But really for us, it's about focusing on the garden and getting the house sorted out for the summer. Right, before I can waffle on a bit more, we're 10 minutes in, I'll show you this week's weigh-in. So last week I didn't do my chart because I'd had a £4 gain, which took me up to 17 stone 7, and I was miffed and thought that it was fluid and I wasn't going to put my stars in, and etc, etc. And then I had the same again last week. So I have filled my chart in. I have taken my gold star away. I lost £3 this week, and I am literally one heart off getting my 6 stone back. I'm not too worried about that, but it was nice to see the numbers come down and be more like what they were before. But I do think a lot of people are suffering at the moment, and that, you know, they're gaining weight, thinking they're gaining weight, but I think a lot of it is fluid retention. So if you are struggling at the moment, just think about that, and just don't blame yourselves. Just think that, you know, it's boiling out there. We're all drinking more. We're all, you know, hot and bothered and sweaty and suffering. So be kind to yourself. Our body does retain water in this horrible heat. So please be kind to yourself. Do not go and revert back to your old ways. Bear with it. It will come off again, I promise you. And for those of you who don't know, I have a lovely lady that makes these. She is linked down below, and she will make you these lovely weight loss charts. She can do any colourway. She can do any colours on the stars and the hearts. She can write whatever you want on here. So you can see that I've got my name and my weight and stones and pounds. You can have whatever you like here written. So if it's not stones you want to lose, if it's, I don't know, a goal you want to achieve, please reach out to her. I'm sure if you message her on Etsy, she will help you out. Well, I know she will. She's wonderful. Hello Emma, if you're watching. So yes, I love it. I absolutely love it. But I am happy that I didn't want to take my gold star off. I've got to admit I was a bit miffed with that, but we're nearly there again. So hopefully next week I will get that 6 stone. And I thought that 6 stone, I thought maybe next week I could do another before and after video. I thought, because I think the last one I did was about 3 stones. So for those of you who have not been here for a while, all I do is stand in the bathroom and rotate round, and then I take screenshots of myself so you can see the difference in me, you know, from the start and from the finish. But yes, so I will do that next week, I think. Well, no, I am going to do it next week. I will do that, and we can have a look at the difference in my body. I mean, the difference this year has been mental, really, because up until about 2 years ago, still through the summer, I'd have a cardigan on. As you can see, I'm wearing short sleeve tops. I'm actually sitting here in shorts. I would have baked all year. Would have wore trousers and jumpers just because I wouldn't have liked my arms. I mean, still not keen on my arms. You can see that I've got floppy skin. I haven't kept up with my exercise, and I do need to use my machine more. But yes, I'm not going to be uncomfortable for anybody now, and it's amazing that I feel quite body confident. I'm not anywhere near where I would want my body to be, but I am proud of what I've done, and proud that I've achieved this, and I want to show it off. I mean, I pass people now, and until I say hi, they look at me as I'd say, "Who are you?" And then they'll say, "I didn't recognise you." And I think sometimes we're quick to judge ourselves and not be thankful for what we've done. So just be mindful of that, and just remember how far you've come. So when you're putting on these £4, £5 in this weather, just be kind to yourself, and remember that we are in a hot period at the minute. We are carrying a lot of fluids. Be kind to yourself, and just remember how far you've come. So yeah, so I've had to have another clear out. So I must be losing inches, because even though I've gone up and down a little bit recently, well, obviously with this water infection, I don't know whether I'd be carrying more, but carrying more infection, or be bloated because of the infection. I'm not sure, but I've been up and down for a while, but I must be losing inches because things I'm putting on I'm too big for now. I mean, these shorts I've got on today, really they need to go in the bin, and I need to buy more. I had a bit of a non-scale victory actually. for me this week as well, and it's really silly, but I actually went down to a size 18-20 in my underwear. How fantastic is that? And yeah, I treated myself to some new little bralettes. When I'm not at work, I like to wear the comfy, like what they're called, like, I'd say they're like a bralette, but they're, I'll show you, bear with me. I like to wear the comfy kind of bralette things. So these are what I picked up. They're from Asda, and I only need an XL in these, so it's fantastic. I think there's 3 in the pack. There's a grey, a black and a white, and they're £15. So yes, I've got those in an XL, and they are so comfortable, really nice. So I picked me and my daughter some up. And yes, they are really nice, and they hold me nicely. I've got a nice little bit of a cleavage in them as well, and they're more importantly, they're comfortable and not too hot and sweaty. So yeah, so I've managed to get in an 18-20 now, so I do need to go through all of these clothes again and get rid of some bits and bobs and hand them down, or you know, to people that may get more use out of them than me. And I've been able to pinch my daughter's clothes. I've got one of her tops we brought from Billie Eilish when we went to the concert last July, and I loved it. And we went to the cinema quite recently to see her in 3D, and Amelia said, why don't you try this t-shirt on, it might fit you. And I thought, no, it never will. But lo and behold, it does, it fits me, so I can now pinch my daughter's clothes. It's supposed to be the other way around, isn't it, where your daughter pinches your clothes, but I can now pinch my daughter's clothes. So I mean, my daughter, she wears everything really oversized anyway. She's a little dot, so she doesn't need to wear things big and baggy, but because her stuff's a little bit oversized, I can get in them. So sorry darling, bless her. So yes, this week has been better, much better. Mr. Sparkles has been looking after me and making sure that I'm not doing too much. It did drive me mad for a couple of days, I'm not going to lie, but you have to do as you're told, don't you? And thank goodness I did, because yeah, I probably would have ended up poorly, I think. But I think that's all my news this week. I think that is all I've got to tell you this week. I know it's a bit of a short one. I am going to go out shopping this afternoon because the kiddies are off. We need to get some bits in, so they've got plenty of lunches, and I think we're going to get some ice creams and ice poles for them. And because I think we've got this weather now for another 3 weeks. And I've got to get them ready for their holiday, yeah, because they are going, I think they're going away on the Friday morning, but they're going to stay at their uncle's the night before, so they can just head off nice and early in the morning to go away. Well, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there. I may have a week off in the summer. I might have a week where I don't vlog. I'll let you know the week before anyway, but I thought I might have a week off. We've got a busy summer. We've got the kitchen's being redone, the housing company are coming to refit our kitchen, so that is going to be absolute chaos. So it might be that I might decide that week that I'm not recording, or I might not, I don't know. Anyway, I'm waffling. We're nearly 20 minutes in. I love you all lots. Thank you so much for being here week after week after week. Do not forget to leave your comments down below. I love reading them, and I am going to make a conscious effort now to reply to you all, because I've been rubbish at it. You know, life just gets in the way sometimes, doesn't it? Right, on that note, I am going to love you and leave you. Take care, everybody. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water in this heat. And hello to all of my international pals and friends. You know who you are, and I love you all lots. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.